I was trying to explain. I was explaining to Len during the break. I was like, he goes, "Oh, Gabby was great." And I was like, "Yeah." He goes, and I was trying to explain to him the clothesline on Niger Morgan. I said, honestly, it's one of the great baseball brawl moments of all time.
Yep.
Given the clothesline protest, saving Chris Volstad's life, or at least Chris Volstad from an ass kicking.
That was violent. The bullpen didn't have a chance to get in. That thing had escalated quickly.
But normally these baseball fights, no contact, a lot of staring. Nope. Gabby's about that action. You always got to watch out. He's about that action. Leroy, can you get a weather update from the Desmond and Dover Law Firm? You're actually
1 second.
Free consultations 24/7. Call them up at 866-954-MORE.
Use my TV voice?
Yes.
Yeah, well, today we have pleasant conditions, partly cloudy skies. Winds are out of the. I don't see nothing. I'm gonna say out of the east because that's where they've been at about 10 to 15 miles an hour, and it's currently 81 degrees.
How do you do, Marcos?
Winds out of the east, southeast, 13 miles per hour, just like he said. Partly cloudy, just like he said. And they have it at 86, but I'm going to go with Leroy.
86 at 10 in the morning?
In
April?
It's soupy out, dude. It is hot.
It has been really hot.
Buckle up!
It is
South
big.
Florida,
folks.
Woof. Woo. He's a golfer, though, ladies and gentlemen. He's a golfer. He knows.
Hey.
He knows. He knows what's what.
We'll talk about rain chances tomorrow as we get closer to the weekend.
The Heat taking on the Pistons tonight. I don't like it. They're sitting a lot of people, the Pistons. They're in tank mode. There's nothing that scares me more. I would rather the Heat. I'd rather the Heat be taking on the bad boys than take on a tanking Pistons team. I'm petrified.
This is what torture is if you're a sports fan. The Miami Heat this year. For the reasons that you're terrified and have been that way all year. Why we always talk about a couple of things. Everybody gets afraid when they have 4 starters out.
Yep.
Because whoever comes in the game mysteriously makes 8 threes or something like that. Not to mention, we've been talking all year about the Heat getting everybody healthy, and they've actually played better when there was only 8 men playing.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how to look at this team, but just say they can beat anybody and they can lose to anybody on any given night, and it doesn't matter who's playing.
Pretty wild. It's pretty wild. There was this great so I got mad at Spo recently because I was like, I just wanted to yell. I just wanted to be mad at people because he's sitting there and he's like, our answers are all there. We believe we believe we can beat anybody at any time. Like, why won't you just say you guys stink right now? Why won't he do that?
he's embracing the
Why
struggle.
do you want him to do that?
I just would love it. I feel like, first of all, he'd be an A+ ranter. I've seen what he does to the league office. I've seen what he does when a call really gets him irked. I feel like he eviscerates them and they wet their pants. They're so scared of him. They don't do anything.
Wait, but what he's done it. He just does it in his Spo way. How about when he called timeout 2 minutes into the game? No!
That was great. But he never does it to the microphones.
But here's why. Because think of how they've been over the years. I think he's one of those coaches that puts the impetus on the players to do certain things as far as getting everybody in line with how they're going to play.
There was Barry Jackson wrote a great article, talked to a lot of Heat players about how Spo's behaved this year. And Barry writes, there have been moments of intense anger from Spoelstra, including throwing his clipboard down during a timeout after Omer Yurtseven made multiple defensive errors in a recent game.
Well,
if you want to know why Big Yurt isn't getting run.
Well, we've seen that before with Hassan.
Mm-hmm.
So it happens, but that's the nature of it, right? there's a fine line between teaching a guy what to do and getting on him for not doing it. Right? But I think he does it his way. Like you can't question how Spo does things. Dude's an all-time winningest coach in Miami Heat history. You can't, he's been doing it right.
He's top 15.
Right.
All time.
Why we listen, everybody has their own way. Let's just say Spo will not be hoarse when his career is over.
No, he's got the same the entire time.
Which like we appreciate that, but now you're criticizing him.
No,
because
Stan
used to yell so much he used to sweat through his jacket.
It has to be.
How'd that work out?
I think it's just because I know it has to be burning him up inside, and I'd really I feel like for his health, I feel like it would be great to just let it out.
If he's not that way, it's not going to come across the right way if he all of a sudden does it.
No, I feel like if anything, that's going to mean more.
No, let me explain something to you. I heard Denny yell one time. One time. We were at practice. Practice was going crazy. He was on the side just watching, because what he does is instead of going to you, he go to your coach, and then your coach would come to you, right? Because he empowered all the coaches to have a grasp of these things. One day practice was going terrible. Like it was just, we wasn't picking up the blitz drill. We wasn't doing this. We get about 30 minutes into practice. Tweet! You gotta be bleeping me. We like, who's that? That's Denny. Oh no. Run it back. Start it over.
Damn.
Right. But that's the only, dude, that is the only time I've heard him get that way. But I guess he felt that he had to. He felt that the coaches weren't getting the point across, so he had to come over top. Spo doesn't seem like that guy.
Yeah, Barry
and he's never been that guy. So to all of a sudden expect him to be that now, you're being unfair to the situation.
Barry wrote in the Herald, he says, whereas Heat President Pat Riley sometimes ranted or threatened lineup changes during post-game news conferences when he was the Heat coach, if the team wasn't playing well, Spoelstra hasn't done that a single time all season, remaining generally positive even after losses. Quote, that has nothing to do with winning, Spoelstra said. To me, a press conference and a coach ranting doesn't necessarily do anything for a win. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. That's not my style, for better or worse. We handle our business here.
But again, if what he's done and how he's done it has worked, and it has, then I have no problem with him being who he is.
One time, cut loose, dude.
No, that's you. Like you
cut
no.
loose. Let it fly, baby.
What is it gonna accomplish?
Oh, it'll make me feel better.
Right. You think it's gonna get
I think it would. I think it would. I think it would make him feel better.
Dude, if you get here, and here's a fact about just life in general. If you see somebody outside of their comfort zone, you tend not to take them at their word. If a person is consistent with who they are, how they do things, how they talk about things or whatever, you tend to be more in line or listen a little bit more. Spo can't all of a sudden change who he's been for the last 15 years.
I want more of this, but towards the players sometimes. This is what I want.
It was a kind of a bizarre deal, you know. There was like half a dozen instances we had, you know, with that official. It's neither here nor there. I'm not going to get a fine, and league, you're not going to even think about giving me a fine. But it started off with, you know, that blocking foul where Jimmy took one to the face. You know, then Cody took another one to the face and broke his nose. And then, you know, our debate about those things seemed to carry over, you know, with the official. And and then it became a matching of egos, I guess. But he got the last laugh on that one. The official did.
So
Amazing.
But even his demeanor doesn't change, right? Even though he may be saying he probably does that with the players.
He double finger gunned the camera.
Okay, but he makes. I mean, what was more aggressive?
I would like him to go.
What was more aggressive, that or the 2-minute timeout where he yells, "No!" Right?
They were both intense.
No, not dude. When he looks at a bunch of grown men
And
and call a timeout,
this is what I want from Erik
2 minutes
Spoelstra.
into a game.
This is what I want from Erik Spoelstra. Duncan, you're not getting playing time. And Big Yurt, you're not even going to think about getting playing time. That's
so what?
I don't know.
Do you understand the point of coaching is to get the most out of your players? So you just go and tell a player that means you're not doing your job.
What's the difference? They're not playing anyway.
But if they can help you win, isn't the job to get them prepared to go onto the court?
I don't know. Like there's been
it is.
There's been a lot of successful yellers in the history of coaching.
Yeah.
There have been. Shula, Saban.
Football, dude.
Yeah,
Football.
Riley,
Here.
Riley was
Hold on. Let me explain something to you. Of all the sports, football is the most negative reinforced sport there is.
What about pop? Pop
no matter what, no matter how great a football team plays, what is the first thing a coach says? Well, we had some good moments. We got to clean some stuff up. I hate the fact that we had too many people. He always starts a press conference negatively. Go watch an NFL coach.
Well, not Mike McDaniel, though. That's not Mike McDaniel's way.
Okay.
At least according
to
him. You got
an outlier. You know what the hell I'm saying, though.
But it seems to resonate. I will say, today's generation, all those young kids want to go talk to him at the combines and the pro days because they think he's a bit of a rock star. He's different. Right. They all say he's different.
Right.
That's not Mike McDaniel's way.
Exactly, dude.
But if Mike McDaniel all of a sudden start yelling or started, the negative reinforcement thing, you wouldn't take him serious because it's outside of who he is. No, you have to be who you are. That's why players respect you, because you're consistent with who you are and how you do things. If that changes, it becomes more difficult for a player to know where the hell you coming from. So for you to ask Spo, why doesn't he yell at the players? Like, he's never done that. But he makes his point.
He does make his point.
Okay.
But I'd like him to publicly make his point to make me feel better sometimes.
To make you feel better.
Yeah.
So what if that has a negative effect on the team?
It won't.
Do you care?
I don't think it will.
Wait. How can you dismiss that and say it won't?
I just don't think it will.
I'm telling you, it will. If a coach becomes different than what he's been for all these years, then it's going to take players off guard. It will. It might have a negative effect.
Good. Keep them on their toes.
Oh, my goodness. Dude, I would say if I owned the team, coach the team, I mean, even Pee-wee, I would keep you as far away as possible.
Why?
Because for some reason, your thinking of how people should coach is not even real.
Nah, dude, I have that thing that you talked about. What's that couth? I have that.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I got that,
no,
dude.
You don't.
I do.
You think you could go in and just yell and degrade a bunch of grown-ass men. And that's going to be more productive than what a 15-year, 700-win NBA coach does.
Does have a lot of wins.
I would say I trust Spo to handle that situation more than I trust you got to get hot on them.
Stoll McRib says Toe would be the most wishy-washy coach.
I agree.
Just imagine him getting.
I agree. I could picture here. I could picture somebody hitting the game-winning shot and Tobin coming to the locker room going, "Goosies." That ain't coaching.
Now, look, I'm not Leroy, but my most memorable moment as a coach, really like yelling at me and Pee-wee, was like, if you guys don't want to be here, you can go watch Moesha. And me thinking, like, man, I would really love to go watch Moesha. I really, like, it's a good show, dude. Brandy's a good actress.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a certain way that even if a coach is yelling, he has to deliver that message. Because if you lose the player, then you actually get worse in production. Something you really don't understand. So you're telling me that Spoelstra go yell at Jimmy?
No, I mean, Jimmy's been fantastic this year.
Oh, see, you can't do it that way, though.
Oh, you got to go like pick on the biggest bully?
You got to go big picture, because the defensive stuff that they're all talking about is not one guy. It's everybody. So from that standpoint, like, you want him to single guys out and whatever.
Technically he did. Hold on, but technically he did do that publicly with Jimmy. Him and Jimmy got into a fight on the bench last year. Seemed to work out. What do you say to that?
Oh my goodness, you're
boxed
a
in.
No, I'm not boxed in.
Nah, dude,
I'm not boxed in.
If anything, it was a.
You know what? They yelled. They got into it. Jimmy went on being Jimmy. Spo went on being Spo. That's just like, there's certain guys, like, coaches would yell at me and I would just like laugh at them. Like, okay.
Yeah, just like me and my art teachers.
Yeah,
and my
but no.
music
But that's the thing, though.
They
Like,
would yell?
this again goes to my. But this again goes to my point.
Why?
Like, don't forget how much we were all in shock of seeing that. We have never seen him that angry at a player in front of us. It meant something. I don't think you pull the card once a year. Once a year, Spo should have a freak out card. I'm glad we're on the same page.
No,
I can't.
No.
I can't explain to you in words that you will understand that don't involve cussing of how ridiculous what you're saying is.
I don't know, dude.
It's ridiculous.
All right.
Like, who you think?
I mean, you are. Listen.
Here's what you have to understand. You're gonna go to a grown man who makes 5-10 times more than you and yell at him like a child, and that's gonna go well.
Once a year.
And that's gonna go well. You think
I
that's
don't
gonna
know.
go well?
Depends.
Because, some people have the personality, if you yell at them, they shut down. So what do you say about that?
I'd say butch up, buttercup.
But you need them to win.
Wow.
You can't keep doing that with players. You need them to perform.
Oh, me. Oh, what are you doing, Duncan? You wiping your tears with your hundies? Oh, boo.
Why we on dunks?
I don't know. Just figured that's who you're referring to.
No.
Oh.
I'm not referring to anybody. Oh my goodness, dude. There's certain times during the year where he wouldn't make it that long because he would try to go in there with some emotional Rudy speech and they would laugh. They would laugh him out after 2 days.
It's true. Leroy yell at Tobin all the time, and look
How
at him.
does he come back?
That's different though. I ain't coaching him.
No, but he just somehow gets worse.
I don't like what
He does things to piss
you know
you
what
off.
you do here. Can I just say this, folks? On Twitch, on YouTube, here's a perfect example of somebody that watched too many football movies, too many sports movies, right? Because you want to go in there with a script, with an emotional, heartfelt speech, and that ain't real, dude. That is not real.
I don't know.
It's not.
We'll take a break. Back
You
up to this.
think that Rudy crap wouldn't fly today?